Okay, so today we're talking a little bit about the oil system. Now, why do engines need oil? Well, as you know, that friction causes heat, and heat can be really bad in an engine. So, pistons, of course, move up and down, so they're going to generate a lot of friction, and if they're not well lubricated, then the engine is going to heat up really, really fast. So that's one of the reasons why you need oil in the engine. So, the oil has one source. It sits in a pan, but it needs to get all the way through the engine. It needs to circulate somehow. And once the oil is all being used and lubricates, it drips back down and goes back into the pan. So it starts off like this. You have the oil that goes through a filter. Now remember, it's all been dripping down through this, and it gets dirty from, the embers or whatever, any metal filings from the pistons or whatever. It needs to be filtered through the oil filter. Now once it goes through the filter, it goes to your thermometer, your oil, which is directly controls your oil temperature gauge. Once we go through here, it goes straight to the pressure gauge. This is another thing that you're going to be looking at when you're flying your plane, and especially when you're climbing.
Okay, so as you can see, this is the oil temperature. And now the oil temperature needs to stand between the 100 mark and the 245 mark. If the oil temperature goes outside of the 245 range, that either means one of two things. That you have low oil pressure, or low oil... Damn!
What Cooper meant to say was that if your oil temperature is operating either above or below its recommended green range, that can mean one of two things. Either your oil is blocked, or your oil level is too low and needs to be checked out before your next flight.